Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be showing you how to conduct product research to find a product to start selling on Amazon UK for private label. And I'm going to be taking you through a step-by-step guide on doing this with absolutely no tools or subscriptions, right? So completely organic product research on Amazon UK using literally just your eyes and your brain, right? This demo will be done on the UK Amazon marketplace, but if you're elsewhere like Europe, USA, Canada, all these concepts will still apply in the exact same way, right? So my name's Neil and I'm a seven-figure Amazon seller, and I want to show you guys exactly how I would use Amazon Marketplace to find a good product to start selling on Amazon UK for private label specifically, right? So this will be about finding products for you to start selling under your own brand name on Amazon, right? Now, by the way, if you don't want to be scribbling away notes, click on the link below and I'll send you all the notes for this process so you don't have to memorize this and you can actually watch this video. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is how important product research is to being successful at selling on Amazon, right? Mainly because it doesn't matter how nice your pictures look, how great your logo is, your branding, your adverts, none of that will matter whatsoever if the product that you're trying to sell is actually crap and no one wants it, right? So you've got to make sure that the product that you're selling is genuinely actually quite good and that people actually want to buy this product, right? The rest of those things can actually be changed, and all of those things can fall into place 1,000 times easier if you've actually got a product to sell that people want, right? So when we start doing that product research, what we're going to do is scour through Amazon Marketplace in the UK with four considerations in mind, right? Now, the first consideration we're going to be thinking about is we're looking for a product that's not so simple and obvious that everyone thought of it. So just like my first mistake, that was iPhone charging cables, right? Smartphone cases, yoga mats, water bottles, reed diffusers, selfie sticks, the sorts of thing everyone thinks of at first. You're going to want to think a bit further outside the box now. The second thing we're going to be considering is we're looking for something that is not so complicated it's likely to go wrong and be returned. So kind of like the opposite of the first consideration. So for example, things like Wi-Fi video doorbells, cameras, headphones, speakers, those sorts of things, things that are very complicated and likely to go wrong and be returned, you're wanting to avoid those sorts of things and look for something a little bit more simple, right? The third consideration you're wanting to keep in mind is we're looking for something that retails between the prices of 15 and 35 pounds. The reason we keep 15 on our lower end is to protect your volume of profits. So, for example, if you're selling a product for, say, £5 or £6, even if you're making a 20-25% profit margin, you're still likely to only be making around £1 per unit every time you make a sale, right? So, how many units do you have to sell before you've even covered the cost of your morning cup of coffee, right? So, for that reason, we want to make sure that our price is minimum £15 in terms of retail price selling on Amazon, right? The reason we keep 35 on our upper end is because research shows that most products that sell on Amazon tend to be priced £35 and below, right? In fact, what I want you to do is look through your own Amazon order history or the order history of your family members and see how many products that you've actually bought in the last year have been over the price of £35. You'll find that very, very few, right? Most of the products that you're even buying on Amazon tend to be priced £35 and below, right? So for that reason, we're looking for products that are retailing on Amazon between the prices of 15 and £35, right? Now, the fourth and final consideration we're looking for is a product which combines several basic functions and features together to make an improved product, right? So for example, a torch that zooms or a work light that folds away. With that, what it means is you have an additional feature that will make your product look more interesting and function in a more interesting and useful way, right? There's nothing more difficult than selling a very, very simple product that does just one thing or has just one function, right? Because it's going to look boring and it's going to be boring. Like, what are you even going to write about? So you're wanting to find a product that combines several very basic, simple functions to make a product more useful, right? So with that, as I say, you're going to be scouring through Amazon Marketplace in the UK with these four considerations in mind. All right. So if you remember, the first one is you're looking for something that's not so simple and obvious that everyone's thought of it. The second consideration is you're looking for something that's not so complicated, it's likely to go wrong and be returned. The third consideration is you're going to be looking for something that retails for between 15 and £35 selling on Amazon. And the fourth consideration is you're looking for a simple product which combines several simple features or functions, right? So those will be the four things you're looking for. Now, with that, you don't need to come back with a specific product, right? You just need to come back with a product type or product category that fits those four considerations that we're looking for, right? So this is the exact same method I used to build and expand my seven-figure Amazon private label brand, Proxnova, before selling the business in recent years, right? So back in 2016 and 17, when I first properly started selling on Amazon, tools like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout were around, but they were nowhere near as advanced or feature packed as they are now, right? So while I used some tools to start some understanding of categories and subcategories that were doing well, the product research that I did was very much organic, right? And this was done completely without tools. So it's the exact same concept I used to not only find this first product, but then to move on to this product, then this product, then this product, and this product, right? Now, with that, what I do myself and what I teach people how to do from start to finish is to take you from a completely blank slate of zero experience to launching your own brand of products to start selling on Amazon, even if you have no idea what to sell yet, right? So I help you find that first product to sell, then find a supplier for that product, create a brand around that product, list that product, optimize that listing, advertise that product, and launch you into a six and seven figure business, right? So this business model is called Amazon Private Label. So with this, the whole reason for this method of product research, it was really, really useful and effective for me because no one else was doing it this way, right? That means that when you do this in a very different way in terms of researching your product to everyone else, you're more likely to come across ideas that no one else has, right? Because you're taking a completely different route, you're likely to end up in a completely different place. That is the point of still doing product research for selling on Amazon in this way, right? Even though there are plenty of good tools around nowadays to really help you a lot, this technique is really, really good because it will lead you to a unique result because it's a unique method, right? Now, with that, when we do this exercise, I want you to start at the top of these five categories, right? So when I click here on all categories, we're going to move down to shop by department. Then we're going to click on see all, right? Now, what I want you to focus on here are firstly, home, garden, and DIY, right? That's the first thing. The second thing I want you to focus on is toys, children, and baby, right? That's the second category. The third category will be sports and outdoors. The fourth category will be health and beauty. The fifth category will be car and motorbike. These are the five categories that I recommend you start looking in, simply because this is where, from my experience, the most opportunities tend to be, right? And it's where the opportunities are, but they're not super competitive or super complicated either, right? So once you go through these categories, what you'll find is you're going to dive into more and more specific categories, right? So for example, let's click on this first one here, home and DIY. And just to stick with this theme, let's go with bedding and linen, right? Now, once you click on bedding and linen, as you scroll around on these initial pages within this department of, bedding and linen, what you're going to find is you're going to see what kind of products are trending and what kind of products people are buying, right? So, for example, using bestsellers, using top rated, and not necessarily recommended for you, but also feature deals, right? These will give you an idea of what kind of products are actually selling within the product subcategory that you're looking for, right? And what you're looking to do is dive down through these product subcategories and get deeper and deeper and deeper and more specific, right? So, for example, starting from home and garden to, bedroom products, then from bedroom products down into bedding, and from bedding down into, I don't know, Egyptian cotton king size bed coverings, right? As an example. So using these five categories that we mentioned, so just to remind you of them, those categories are home, garden, and DIY, toys, children, and baby, sports and outdoors, health and beauty, car and motorbike, right? Start with those five categories, dive down into those categories, and weave down into them to find a more specific subcategory. Now, again, by the way, if you don't want to be scribbling away notes, click on the link below and I'll send you all the notes for this process so you can actually watch this video rather than trying to memorize it and scribble down notes at the same time, right? Now, let's say, as an example, to make this demo really clear, what we're going to do is start out by looking at an example of a product that I've launched myself to show you exactly how I got there and how this process is going to look for you as well, right? So here is an example of a product subcategory that fits those four considerations that we're looking for, right? Now, outdoor security lighting is a perfect example of a product subcategory that fit those four considerations, right? By the way, those four considerations will be in the notes that I send over to you. So if you do want to actually remember what those four considerations are to do this product research manually yourself, remember to click that link below so that you can get all of these notes. You don't have to, as I say, write these down, right? So, outdoor security lighting, a perfect example of a product subcategory that fits those three considerations. Not so simple and obvious, everyone's thought of it, not so complicated, it's likely to go wrong and be returned. Retails between 15 and 35 pounds and combines several simple functions and features into one product to make it more interesting, right? Outdoor security lighting. Now, as we open up this subcategory of outdoor security lighting, what you can see here is Amazon has navigated you to the top 50 selling products within the outdoor security lighting subcategory, just like you can see here, right? Now, once you're here, by the way, there are loads of other product subcategories along the left here that would fit those four considerations, right? Outdoor security lighting is the one we're using for this example here, but it's certainly not the only one, right? These are four quite wide considerations. Now, once you're here on the outdoor security lighting subcategory, what you're going to do is zoom your view all the way up. So you can see all of the top 50 selling products within the outdoor security lighting subcategory within one view, just like I've done here, right? Now, once you're here, you're going to write down a list of 5 tangible design features and 3 intangible design features that you can generally see amongst the most popular 50 selling products in front of you in this view right here, right? So as an example, a lot of these are black, LED powered, motion sensor triggered, powered by battery or solar, and wall mounted. Now, 3 intangibles could be a lot of these have LEDs that look like eyes, or a body shape that looks like a camera, or thirdly, even just an overall impression of something that seems to be looking at you, right? So what we're going to do is take those 5 tangible and 3 intangible design functions and features that we can see in front of us and put those together, and that's going to be our design spec, right? Now we're going to take that design spec and use that design spec and go out onto Alibaba and look for a product in China that has all 8 features of our design spec, but doesn't already exist on Amazon yet, right? And what I mean by that, guys, is you're not looking to invent a new product here or reinvent the wheel or anything like that. All you're looking to do here is find a product in China on Alibaba that is the same as these popular selling products that are already selling well within your chosen subcategory and has those same 8 features of a design spec all come together in a way that simply looks different to what else exists on Amazon, right? So this really comes down to appearance more than anything else. As an example of that, if we go onto Alibaba over here and type in motion sensor security light battery solar, what is going to happen is you're going to come across a load of results for products selling on Alibaba from suppliers, and you're going to crawl through all of these results and you're going to look for products on Alibaba that have the same 8 features of your design spec. So again, something that's black, LED powered, motion sensor triggered, powered by battery or solar, wall mounted, has LEDs that look like eyes or a body shape that looks like a camera, or even just an overall impression of something that seems to be looking at you, right? You're going to crawl through Alibaba to look for a product that has those 8 features, right? Now, you're not just going to do this with one product subcategory like I've shown you here with outdoor security lighting. You're going to do this with 5 different product subcategories. The reason we're doing this through 5 different product subcategories rather than just one is because that's going to maximize your chances of finding at least one, if not 2, really good products from this process, right? Now, in all 5 of these situations, once you've found an interesting product on Alibaba that looks like it could actually hit all of the 8 factors in your design spec for the product that you're looking for, what you're going to do is buy just 10 samples of each of those 5 different product ideas, right? 10 to 20 samples. You don't want to be buying too many more than that. So you're going to buy just 10 to 20 samples of each of these 5 product ideas that you found on Alibaba in China, and you're going to have those samples shipped back to you, right? Now, once you have these samples, you're going to first test them out yourself, hand them out to family and friends, and you're also then going to list them on Amazon and eBay. And what you're going to find very, very quickly is of those 5 products, 4 of them are totally crap, right? For whatever reason. They break coming out of the packaging, they don't do what they're supposed to do, they don't last beyond more than one use. For whatever reason, 4 out of 5 of those products will be totally crap, right? However, one product will actually be quite good, right? Your friends and family will be coming back to you saying, I'd actually buy this product on Amazon and eBay if it were well priced. Your views and impressions on Amazon and eBay for this one product listing will be significantly higher than they were for these other 4 products. So you've got some data to confirm that this is the most desirable and interesting product to your target market, right? Now, what that first product looked like for me was this one here. So I tested this product out against a Bluetooth receiver, a wireless gaming mouse, a USB stick, and a flashlight, right? Now, all 4 of those products were totally crap, so I just chucked them all out and focused all my time and resources on this one product here, right? Now, once we've decided for you what that one product is going to be, you're going to go back to that same supplier you bought those first 10 or 20 samples from, and this time you're going to buy 250 units. Now, when you buy 250 units, it's going to take roughly 4 to 6 weeks for those units to actually arrive with you. So over those 4 to 6 weeks, what you want to do is prep your listing on Amazon and eBay to look as good as they possibly can. So by the time those 250 units arrive, they're going to hit the ground running and start selling straight away because your listing looks really, really good, right? So over those 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to be dealing with 4 main things. The first thing you want to be dealing with is product images, right? Images are the most important thing for anything that you're selling, right? Whether you're selling on Amazon, whether you're selling a house, whether you're selling a car, whether you're selling a dog, it doesn't matter what you're selling online or offline. Whatever you're selling, the main image that you use to represent that product or service is the most important decision that you're going to make, right? Because it is going to make the difference between getting a click or not getting a click, right? Now, with that, I would go as far as to say a mediocre product with a good image will sell better than a good product with a bad image, right? So the main image that you choose for your product listing is going to be really, really important, right? Now, normally your supplier will actually have a lot of these graphics already saved. So a lot of these images that you're going to need for your listing, most of your suppliers should already have them. However, if you don't have those from your supplier, then you can always hire a graphic designer or a product photographer on Fiverr who can help you get images like this made, right? And you don't just want a nice main image, if possible as well, try and get some infographics made for your product as well, right? So that'd be the first thing. The second thing you're going to do is find as many vital keywords associated with your product as possible and stuff them all into your title and description, right? That's going to make your product as organically searchable as possible. So that means when someone is looking for something similar to your product, if they're to type in something vaguely relevant into the search bar here at the top, they're likely to come across your product listing organically because you have populated it with a lot of good vital keywords, right? It's going to make your product as SEO friendly as possible for the Amazon marketplace. Now, the third thing you're going to do is you're going to design your product page in such a way that the buyer doesn't actually need to read the page properly in order to understand what's so good about the product and why they should buy, right? And the reason I say that is I'm sure you guys yourself, when you're shopping on Amazon, when you land on a product page like this, you don't sit here and read through every single little word on the page, right? You can barely even see those words. What you, like most people do, when you land on an Amazon product page like this, is first skip through the images, which is why they're the most important thing to start with, right? Now, once you've done that, you generally tend to just scan down the page and you just be skim reading and skim reading and skim reading. And by the time you're around here, you've more or less made up your decision as to whether you want the product or not, right? So what we're going to do is make sure your 5 most important USPs pop out off the page without your buyer having to look for them. So things like images of the product in use, images of the product being installed, bold summary statement headlines saying exactly what the product does and how it works, all coming beneath the main functions and features capitalized and highlighted at the beginning of every single bullet point so that even if you've barely read a single word on this page, you'll still understand what's so good about the product and why you should buy it, right? So that'll be the third step. Now, the fourth and final step, which is last but certainly not least, are product reviews. Because again, I bet none of you watching this video here today buy products on Amazon that have no reviews on them. Because who does that? How do you know if they're going to be any good or not? So what we're going to do is to get your first 4 or 5 reviews onto your Amazon product listing by asking family and friends. Now, the only limitation with this is you can't ask anyone who's got the same surname as you or who's lived at the same address as you over the past 5 years. So asking close family, immediate family isn't a good idea, but asking in-laws, cousins, colleagues, co-workers, friends, in that sense, it should be very, very easy to get those first 4 or 5 reviews onto your Amazon product listing, right? Now, once you've done this, your listing is going to be looking really, really nice, right? It's going to have some really nice, good images. It's going to have some great keywords scattered throughout that listing. It's also going to have a really nice page design, which helps convert visitors into buyers. And finally, it's going to have some reviews as well to give you that social proof and allow customers to have the confidence in purchasing your product, right? So your listing is going to be looking really, really good. Now, as soon as your order lot of 250 units arrives, what you're going to do is take that order lot and send it all to Amazon's FBA warehouses, right? And the reason for that is it's going to make it much, much easier for you to sell and scale your business using Amazon FBA than using Amazon FBA, right? So getting Amazon to actually deliver each and every single unit to every single customer one at a time is much, much easier than you posting out every single order unit to every single customer, right? So when you use Amazon FBA, or when you convert your offer to Amazon FBA, you're going to take your product stock in bulk and send it all to Amazon FBA warehouses so that you don't have to send out each and every single unit to every single customer. Amazon is going to do that for you. Your sole responsibility is just to send stock in bulk to Amazon's FBA warehouses, right? So that's going to make your job a lot easier. Now, what's going to happen is because you've got some great images, great keywords, a great layout, good reviews, and finally, you've converted your product to an Amazon Prime product. Now, what you're going to find is because you've got these 5 things in place, your product is going to be super attractive to Amazon's search and ranking algorithm, right? Once that happens, what you're going to find is those first 250 units that you've sent to Amazon's FBA warehouses are going to start selling very, very quickly, right? However, what you don't want to do is sell all 250 units and then go out of stock for a really long period of time while you buy more inventory, right? Because while you're out of stock, waiting for your new stock to come in, by the time your inventory actually arrives, you're going to have to start that sales momentum all over again. And that's going to cost time and money, which you don't want to waste, right? So instead, what you're going to do is when those 250 units start selling, you're going to sell the first 50 units of those 250 units. You're going to take the cash from those first 50 sales, combine it with some of your budget to now buy 500 units, right? As those 500 units are being manufactured and shipped to you, that's the time during which those remaining 200 units are selling through. So those 500 units arrive just in time to overlap with those 200 units selling out so you don't go out of stock in between, right? Then when those 500 units come in, you're going to do the exact same thing again, except this time you're going to buy 1,000 units. So every single time you go back to repurchasing your stock, you're going to be doubling the number of units you're buying every single time. And the reason for that is very, very simple. In that first order lot of 250 units, we're looking for you to be making a profit margin of roughly 20 to 25%. From there onwards, we're looking to take you up to a profit margin of roughly 30 to 35%. The way in which we're going to be taking you from a profit margin of 20 to 25% up to 30 to 35% is by doubling the number of units you're buying every single time in order to employ the economy of scale to reduce your cost of goods and widen out your profit margin incrementally every single time, which is what's going to slowly transport you from a profit margin of 20 to 25% up to 30 to 35% profit margin, right? Now, once we've done that, you can't keep doubling the number of units you're buying indefinitely, right? That'd get a bit crazy. If you started off with 250, then 500, then 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16, it'd get a bit insane. What you're going to do is keep doubling the number of units you're buying until you get to a point where you're buying the same number of units over the same period of time again and again and again. So let's say you get to a point where you're buying 2,000 units every 90 days. Because you're buying the same number of units, i.e., 2,000 units over and over again, your cost price will now be stable. Because you're buying it every 90 days, you're going to know exactly how much money you need, when you need the money to buy how many units, and how long it's going to last you, right? So not only is your cost price stable, but so is your cash flow. What you're going to find when both your cost price and cash flow are both stable is off the back of each and every single order payout you get from every sale you make on Amazon. Within that order payout amount, you're going to very clearly be able to see your cost price and profit margin within that amount, right? And that is going to be a stable number because, as I say, your cost price and cash flow are now both stable, right? So off the back of each and every single payout, you're going to be able to see within that payout amount your cost price and profit margin. Now, assuming you're happy with that profit margin, if you're not, by the way, you can keep doubling the number of units you're buying every single time to squeeze down that cost of goods and widen out that profit margin, right? But assuming you are happy with that profit margin, what you're going to do is extract that profit margin and use it to fund your product research method all over again for your second product. However, this time you're not going to start from scratch. So if you remember the first time, we tried 5 different product subcategories, right? 4 of them yielded junk. One of them, outdoor security lighting, yielded you a winning product. So what we're going to do is go straight back to outdoor security lighting. Simply because if we found a winning product there the first time, the chances are very, very high that you're going to find a winning product there the second time, right? Now we're going to go even deeper than that. We're going to use the exact same design spec that you yielded from outdoor security lighting subcategory that led you to that first winning product, right? So just like the first time, you're going to go to outdoor security lighting and zoom your view all the way out so you can see the top 50 selling products within one view, just like I've done here, right? Now, once you're here, you're going to write down a list of 5 tangible design features and 3 intangible design features that you can generally see amongst the most popular 50 selling products in front of you, just like you did for that first product, right? So exactly the same as the first time. A lot of these are black, LED powered, motion sensor triggered, powered by battery or solar, and wall mounted, right? Now, 3 intangibles could be a lot of these have LEDs that look like eyes, or a body shape that looks like a camera, or thirdly, even just an overall impression of something that seems to be looking at you. So, just like the first time, a lot of these are black, LED powered, motion sensor triggered, powered by battery or solar, wall mounted, have LEDs that look like eyes, a body shape that looks like a camera, or even thirdly, just an overall impression of something that seems to be looking at you, right? Literally, just like the first time, you're going to take those 5 tangibles and 3 intangibles, put them together, and that's going to be your design spec. You're going to take that design spec, go out onto Alibaba and look for a product in China that has all 8 features of that design spec, but just like the first time, doesn't already exist on Amazon yet, right? Now, what that looked like in my situation was products 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, product number 4 was a bit more of a random experiment, but this still worked really well anyway. So we launched this in other color variations, and that gave us a whole new product range. But let me just remove this one example from this demo to keep this simple for you. Now, hopefully you can see with this first product, it's got those same 8 features of a design spec that I originally mentioned, right? So it's black, LED powered, motion sensor triggered, powered by battery or solar, wall mounted, has LEDs that look like eyes, a body shape that looks like a camera, or thirdly, even just an overall impression of something that seems to be looking at you, right? Hopefully you can see those same 8 features present in this one product, right? Now, can you guys see how I would get from that first product to that second product? In that this product looks a little bit different, but has those exact same 8 features, right? So as a design concept, we would go from that first product to that second product in that it's the exact same design spec, but just looks a little bit different and has a few various features, right? So if it makes sense to you how we would get from that first product to the second product, it should make perfect sense to you how we would get from that second product to the third product and the fourth product and the fifth product and how we'd get to a sixth product, seventh product, eighth product, and keep going indefinitely, right? That is exactly what this concept of organic product research is designed to teach you how to do. It's designed to teach you first how to run that overall market test to find your first winning product, right? Then take that first winning product and reverse engineer it to find its winning formula. Then take that winning formula and reiterate it over and over and over and over again. And as you do that, you don't have to stick to the same known winning formula. That's the coolest thing about this, right? So just like we saw before, this one product that we sold was completely different to everything else that we sold, really. It's a different type of category, it's a different type of product. The overall impression of that product is completely different, right? However, randomly testing the market showed this to be a winning product. So we took this winning product, reverse engineered it to find its winning formula, then took that winning formula and reiterated the same product over again in different color variations, right? Now, the exact same thing can be seen here in these products here, right? Access panels. Again, a completely different type of product to everything else that we sold. However, again, randomly testing the market showed this to be a winning product. So we took this winning product, reverse engineered it to find its winning formula, then took that winning formula and reiterated it over and over and over again in different materials and different size variations, right? So using this organic product research, what you're able to do, as I say, is run that overall market test to find a few winning products. Then from those first winning products, reverse engineer them to find their winning formulas, then take those winning formulas of just one or two or even three good ideas, reverse engineer them, and take those winning formulas and reiterate them over and over and over again in different design variations, different color variations, and different material variations, as well as different size variations, right? So with this method of organic product research, you can take literally three product ideas and turn them into like 25 different products, right? Exactly as you've seen here. So that is the whole point of doing what we're doing here with organic product research. Just click on the link below and I'll send you all the notes for this process so that you don't have to memorize this and you can actually watch this video and understand the concept most importantly, right? Now, on that note, when you're doing private label, whatever you sell, whatever category of products, make sure to buy a really small amount first in order to avoid losing money if it doesn't go the way you hope it goes, right? You won't make money on that small batch because that's not the point. You want to make sure this product sells before buying bigger volumes and investing more money, right? If you can't sell 20 units of a product, how will you sell 1,000? Make sure you try and prove that you can sell 20 units before ordering 1,000, right? Now, I know there are a lot of people that say private label doesn't work and it's an old business model, but it continues to grow every single year. While a lot of sellers do join, the problem is 99% of them fail because they're selling the exact same kind of products, right? Exactly as I said before, things like iPhone charging cables, smartphone cases, yoga mats, water bottles, reed diffusers, selfie sticks, right? The exact same kind of products. So this method has been amazingly successful for myself and all of my students because we look for unique ideas that most people are overlooking by using a unique method to find them. And that is where the money is. The best bit is, if you set things up correctly to begin with, it's very, very passive to maintain. It's like your very own personal money machine. So if you want to learn some free tips that I've learned over the last 9 years and selling millions of pounds of products on Amazon, just click the link below to learn some of my free tips, as I say, for free. So if you do have any questions at all or get stuck with anything or anything doesn't make sense, simply reply to the notes that I email you and I'll be able to get back to you and help you with whatever you need. The exact same thing goes for those free tips. So click on that link below and get my notes on this process as well as my free tips. Reply to either of those emails if you have any questions and I'll be happy to clarify things for you, right? So that is everything for today. As I say, it's pretty much a step-by-step guide on finding a product to start selling on Amazon UK for private label specifically. And this is done completely organically without any tools or subscriptions to anything, right? You can do this completely for free with your eyes and your brain. Now, of course, there is a lot more to it than that. And as I promised, there will be a lot more videos to come to help you break down these processes, especially things like sourcing, GTIN exemptions and whatnot. And it'll help you understand this more easily and in detail. So if you did like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video so you don't miss out on more free guides. So you don't just save more money getting started selling on Amazon, but you also learn to make more money selling on Amazon too. Right? So if you do have any questions or suggestions, please drop them down below and I'll be replying to all of them too. I hope this has been really useful for you guys. Reply to my notes or guide if you do get stuck. Thank you so much for watching today. Happy selling and I'll see you in the jungle.